What's a fact that was taught in school that's been disproven in your lifetime? I learned tongue taste maps at school. Turns out it's complete nonsense. Your permanent record will follow you into adulthood. Once you get to high school, nobody will accept papers not written in cursive. I once asked one of my elementary school teachers what a rainbow was, and she told me scientists hadn't figured it out. I walked around until my early 20s thinking that. Also, I think it was the same teacher who told me Columbus thought the earth was flat. They were training teachers a different kind of way in the 70s and 80s. It's honestly one of the reasons I'm thankful for the internet, because depending on your teacher or an outdated encyclopedia for answers could be a real roll of the dice. The food pyramid. In pharmacy school, around the turn of the century, we were taught that people in legitimate pain don't get addicted to opiates and opioids, that the appendix is a vestigial organ and doesn't do anything.
The whole meteorite killed the dinosaurs thing wasn't yet the accepted theory when I was a kid.
That Canada didn't ever have slaves. Guess what? What's worse is, to my knowledge, they still don't teach this. I had to look it up myself. You only use 10% of your brain each day. You won't always have a calculator on you. All fat was bad for you. Thus, fat-free foods became a thing for a while. That we would all but run out of oil by the year 2000. Not school, exactly. But in grade 4, we had the DARE program come talk to my class, and they said a lot of stuff that's not true. I remember them saying weed has more chemicals in it than cigarettes, and caused cancer faster than cigarettes. Anything that goes in your lungs that not oxygen can cause cancer, but I don't think it causes cancer faster. Edit, guys. I get it. I wasn't correct when saying anything that goes in your lungs that not oxygen can cause cancer statement. That you will need a college education to get any decent paying job in life. No joke. That shit was taught to my generation, and it's a load of bullshit. That lemmings commit suicide. The food pyramid, completely different now than what I was taught was healthy. If you work hard for a company and show your loyalty to them, they will be loyal to you. That I'd fail in life because I was not good at math. I always had a hard time with math and physics and chemistry. Turns out I am just not good with numbers, but succeeded with languages. I have a natural talent for languages. I am a translator and conference interpreter. I work with 5 languages. My math teacher told my mom I'd never amount to anything if I didn't master math. I was there, and her words scarred me for life. I have been terrified of failure ever since. Nobody is above the law. If you study well and have excellent grades, you will end up with a nice job and lots of money. Unlike my father and grandfather, I won't work at the same place for my entire life. I will switch jobs up to 3 times in my career. I'm on 6 looking for a 7th. Hiding under your desk at school at 10:0 a.m. on the last Friday of the month while the teacher placed a name tag on your wrist would protect you from an atomic blast. That moss always grows on the north side of trees. Edit should have added, this so-called fact would help you if you had gotten lost hiking, as north would point to civilization or some shit. No one is going to wait for you to look up information in the real world. You have to know it has to be the most insane thing I ever heard. If you don't do well, you'll end up being a garbage man. Fuck you. Garbage men are awesome and make more than teachers. Also less likely to get shot on the job. I before E, except after C in spelling. Actually, it was never true, but weird they taught a rule that was true like 30% of the time or something like that. A little bit before my time, and most teachers already knew it was wrong, but it was still in my 3rd and 4th grade science books since they were dated to when it was still in vogue in the 70s, even though we were told to mostly ignore it, but global cooling. I imagined massive ice ages by the time I was an adult since I ignored my teachers and read the passages anyway. I was disappointed to find out how wrong it was. Multiple teachers over the years told me the Nova didn't sell well in Hispanic countries because the manufacturer marketing execs didn't realize Nova means no-go story. It's a total urban legend. But this was back before anybody we knew had the internet, so people just blindly believed whatever they were told back then, including teachers. Not that people have stopped blindly believing things now, but at least you can Google stuff if it sounds made up now. The United States government prevents abuse of power through a well-engineered system of checks and balances. Pluto not being a planet. That George Washington's teeth were made of wood. No, it's so much worse. Meritocracy and appearance doesn't matter. The system time will take care of putting bad guys where they belong. Your teachers care about you and want the best for you. Teachers are just people. Some of them really suck. Dinosaurs being cold-blooded. Ulcers were from stress, most are from bacteria. Neanderthals were a less evolved human ancestor. Sugar makes kids hyper. That McGruff did not take a bite out of crime. Strangers will give me free drugs on street corners and in Halloween candy. That male pattern baldness trait passed down from your maternal line. Mom's side loaded with full heads of hair. However, found out early I received 0 of the genetics promised. There are checks and balances in government that prevent autocratic gestures from presidents or Congress. Bullshit. They do as they please.